Hey everyone, welcome back to another anime kingdom reviews. See by the title below, yes, this is on episode 2 of SukaSuka, and this was a really good episode, a really good follow episode to the last one. Like I said, I loved the first one, but this one, in my opinion, was even better. Like, I just love the way that at just like like right in the middle, it just switched, and the atmosphere and everything changed. We went from having like kind of a nice, happy, sweet, kind of like a slice of life kind of beginning. You know, we got the only problems going on is pretty much that the kids are scared of Willem, and it's pretty much because they're not used to, you know, a guy being around the house and everything. And at first I thought it was totally like, one of the girls was like, oh no, he's gonna eat you. I was like, is this because of Niglodia, or however you say her name? I'm pretty sure that's why, you know, they would be saying that. But of course it ends up being that he's just like a man and they don't normally have any men around the house. So yeah, that's pretty much the reasoning for that. So of course, you know, he ends up doing something. We get a little bit of his backstory once again. That's the one part I really am enjoying, seeing his past, because it is some like tragedy that's going on with there, and it connects to this as well. It's sad, but it's interesting to see that, like, when he was younger and he, you know, fed all those kids as well. So it's kind of just like that when he gave them, because who doesn't love some sweets? Who doesn't love dessert? And that's what he gave everyone. And it comes to the point where all the girls are like instantly like, guess what? That's all you need to do. And they're all just jumping on him, having fun, playing with him. They're playing soccer or dodgeball or something like that. I don't know what the heck they were playing. And, you know, he's just having a good time with them. We even get to, you know, meet some new characters in Ithea and Nephrin. And, you know, Nephrin is your basic, your you know, kind of doesn't really show emotions a lot kind of character. Doesn't really have a lot of reactions. And then you have Ithea, who's just a full-blown, she's a super, like, she's just a tease. She is completely funny, but it's definitely those kind of characters that when something happens, they react the most. So you know for a fact, considering what we've seen already, that this is going to be like, I don't know, some definitely emotional type of shit coming along in the next episodes. It actually is coming a lot sooner than I thought. I thought we were going to have a lot more kind of happy go kind of things going on in the first several episodes, but it already looks like we're going to go straight down into like some serious ass crap with how the episode, once the second half hit, it just completely flipped, and it was kind of this depressing, kind of sad, just like, holy shit, this is just like, these kids, they're, at first you look at them and they're like, oh yeah, they're kids and everything, and all of a sudden you find out when the, like, that moment when the girl fell down and she was bleeding and shit. At first I thought maybe they just don't get her or they heal fast or something. That's why they're weapons. You know, I always wondered why they were weapons. We saw in the beginning, in the first episode, them fighting some stuff at the very, very beginning, but it didn't show as much. This time we find out that it's pretty much, yeah, they're using these weapons called Doug weapons, which the humans used to use. I think they call them Ephraims or something like that now. But the humans use them. They're braves. They were super strong, and now the only people that can use them are, of course, these girls. They're fairies or leprechauns that pretty much are able to, the only ones able to use it, since there's no humans left except him. So of course they pretty much have the kids just learn of no fear whatsoever or any care for their, you know, themselves at all, to the point where this girl is bleeding like crazy, and they're all like, go get the ball, it's right over there, and she's just like slowly wobbling over there, and it's like, holy shit, they really are, that is just sick, man. I was literally like, holy crap. And for him to find that out and find all this out, and he, like, she's like, Niglodia said, you're not gonna look at him the same. And yeah, he there's no way you could do that anymore. It's just, it's so tragic to see that these girls, and that's why I was wondering why Ithea was saying that they don't normally go into, you know, adolescence and everything, and that's why they normally die before. And we see that in this, after, of course, you know, Catholia, Catholi and Ithea go out to do a mission and go fighting the 17 beasts, which I really did like. That story. It was pretty interesting to learn about these monsters that I guess the humans created, pretty much destroyed everything on the, you know, on the surface of the earth, and now they're only living in these sky islands. And normally those things can't go and attack them, but the only reason there's a certain one that can put parts of its body flow into the air and get to the island. And of course later on we find out that it seems that Kotori is going to be the one to end up sacrificing herself. We learn about the whole thing with if the caster like doesn't like. There's like a whole bunch of the stuff that we learned, and she can use it to kill her and the enemy. But that's just tragic. That's messed up. So there's probably like so many of them. They're literally cannon fodder. They're literally used as just like they are weapons. If they get destroyed, but the mission succeeds, then it's a successful mission. And it's just I don't know how Willem is going to be able to cope with this, and we already see that, after the whole thing with, her in the bed and everything, and her falling asleep, he looks towards the sword, and the sword, all of a sudden, that's why he knows all these weapons, because he was one of them. He's used the weapons, and he knew the people. They showed a flashback of him with that one girl saying she has she's the strongest brave with the strongest weapon and everything. And we're probably going to go more into that, because in the, the preview, it did show him when he was younger, and there's like a burning around him, so it's probably going to get more into his backstory, which I am really actually interested. Like, that's one of the parts that I found really interesting in this episode, was the kind of connection and backstory that he has, that he's already been in these kind of things, and it's kind of like everything's happening again. So how is he going to change things up? That's the big question. Like, literally having it be in the beginning of the episode super happy and everything, to just this kind of depressing feeling when you know the truth behind all of this. It's just like, holy shit, yeah, it's gonna get super feelsy. We're gonna go on the feels train in this anime for sure. Like, we already knew that it was gonna be something, bad, but like already happening already, like the start of the field train. It's pretty much like, all aboard, get on the field train, we're starting to move now. And it's like, oh man, like, I'm excited to see what's gonna happen, but also really scared to see like just how, like, I'm probably gonna tear up, like, for sure, no doubt about it. Just for the fact that Kotori, like, in this episode, thinks she's gonna die already in 5. They're willing to sacrifice her. She's like, in 5 days she's gonna die, so she wants a kiss and everything. Like, that was just so sad. That, along with the music going on in that point, I love that music, the soundtrack going on in that certain part. But like, it was just super. I was like, wow, that's just like, she wants to have an impact on someone's life and stay in their heart and everything. Like, that was so sad, dude. And then, of course, he just flicks her in the head, kisses her on the forehead, and then it gets to weirdly fan servicey, kind of erotic moment with him kind of massaging her back. I full on thought someone was gonna like I feel was gonna come in and start teasing him and teasing her, because he's full on just like doing this, and she's just like, oh, it's like, I literally had to close my door because it was getting kind of sexual. If someone heard what was going on in there, that is not what I want anyone to hear in my family around, So I was like, oh, let me close the door first, pause this. But overall, yeah, it was a pretty damn interesting episode. Got to be introduced to a couple new characters. Got to finally figure out the main reason of why these girls are weapons. Definitely, like I said, went from all happy and nice to super feelsy and depressing. But overall, I really did like that feeling. It sucks, it's sad, but just the overall, feeling, the atmosphere of this anime so far it's really got me interested. I can't wait to see these next episodes. That reminds me, the opening was showed in this one, and I really did enjoy the opening. It felt like a real, like, just like full on just action type of anime, but that's not really what this anime is about. There's probably going to be some crazy shit action, but yeah, it's like let me see the genres one more time. It's sci-fi, drama, romance, and fantasy. So I'm not too sure how much action is going to be. I would love to see action without the, we already see that it's going to be bloody. We see like several times already all these girls all cut up and bleeding all over the place. It's going to be gory and stuff. And that's the scary thing. Like, we don't know who may die. Like, all these girls, there's a possibility that they may die. And like, you don't know when, you don't know how. Probably going to be gory and just plain disturbing, but we're going to have to get through it, guys. We're going to have to get through it. But maybe Willem will try and do something to save them. Maybe he'll take the sword and he'll fight. I don't know. But I'm definitely excited to see more of his backstory. Definitely more excited to see, more about the girls. And just excited to see more of this story so far. Because so far, I have enjoyed these first 2 episodes. And I definitely have a lot of hype for the next ones. But yeah, that's all I gotta say, guys. Hope you enjoyed this Anime Kingdom review. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If there's anything I missed and you want to talk about, comment below as well. And if you did enjoy, don't forget to like. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe for more content. And until next time, guys, see ya.